Blessed love, I am the Honorable Priest Isaac. I am an official priest within the realms of Rastafari of the Ethiopia Africa Black International Congress. I also hold a certification in the craft of Astronomy from Politecnico di Milano in Italy. Our universe and its makeup has always been an intriguing subject for humankind. Astronomy is the study of everything in the universe beyond the Earth's atmosphere. Ancient astronomy is similar, but pays special attention to the physical and spiritual values of stars, planets, moons, and other celestial objects. It also brings in the terrestrial component, being things on an earthly plane, such as plants, human organs, and connects them to the heavenly bodies. In this course, you will learn the makeup of various planets and stars, how to locate them in the night sky, along with their associated constellations. You will also be taught about the earliest civilizations known for their astronomical comprehension, namely Kush, also known as ancient Ethiopia, Kemet, called Egypt today, the Dogons, and the Bozos, as well as the civilization of Sumer. You will also learn about black holes, their nature and origin, as well as how the ancients viewed them. Ancient astronomy is the mother of archaeoastronomy and astrotheology. Both subject areas are covered by the Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge. Sign up today. Visit our website, priestisaacinstitute.com, or email us, priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com, for more information. My royal family, blessed love, glorify highly Selassie the First, Negus and Agas, and give thanks for your presence with us here in the Tiger's Nest, Honorable Priest Isaac, here with you. And we are going to begin with identifying the connection between the planets and the signs, or what is known as the constellations. Now, of course, each and every one of us, we are governed by each and every planet, but we are not necessarily governed by each and every constellation, because where the planet would have been at your birth or even conception has to do with the connection that you have with the constellation. The same can be said of the sun and the moon. So let's go through it before we observe when you were born, for those who will be getting their natal chart reading this evening. Now, the sun is directly connected with the constellation Leo, and the sun has to do with ego and resilience and manifestation and self-love, and is directly connected to the heart. Then you have the moon, which is connected to the constellation Kepra, which is called Cancer. And the moon is directly linked with the pineal gland and the gut. So obviously the fact that the moon or Luna is linked to the pineal gland and linked to the gut is the same thing with Kepra or Cancer, the constellation. And they both deal with the emotional body. They both deal with intuition. They both deal with the moon. So you could imagine when the moon is full and the moon is in Kepra, or when the moon is new and the moon is in Kepra, or whenever the moon is in Kepra, which happens every month. So you should be studying and seeing exactly when the moon is hitting, bam, Kepler, and how you will react at the time. This is science. Then you have the planet Mercury, and Mercury is directly linked with the constellation Virgo, and Mercury is directly linked with the constellation Gemini, and is directly connected to the mind and to the nervous system and the respiratory system, and is dealing with communication. And then now you have Venus, which is referred to as the twin of the earth. And Venus is directly linked with the constellation Taurus and Libra, and has to do with, well, first of all, it deals with the kidneys and the thyroid, and even the reproductive system. That's Venus. And Venus has to do with harmony, love, and beauty. And you see the reason why we are going through this before we actually begin to read your natal chart for you, or when you were born, is so that you can understand the value of the planets and the constellations as it relates to you. Now, obviously, everyone who will see this will not be, directly connected or even in any way feel that they are at one with this concept. So individuals will tell you, well, a planet is just a planet. And a star is just a star and doesn't mean anything. And that is not true at all. It is not so. And this is why you will see why we connect planets with plants, and different flowers connect to the sun and different flowers connect to the moon. And hear this, they actually react to the moon when it's full. They actually react to the sun when it's rising and when it's setting. There's specific plants that react in a specific way when Venus is coming over the horizon, whether it's day or night. There's specific plants that react with the planet Mars. And when you observe the planet now and the way that it's made up, you see that it's what you call its constituents is very similar to that of Mars. Yeah, because you must understand, that the planets in general, when you observe the heavens and the movements, the planets in general and their makeup, just like the planet Earth, you have the oxygen, you have the magnesium, you have the aluminum, you have the silicon, you have the iron, that's in the different planets from Venus to Mars. Even the sun is helium and is hydrogen and carbon, you understand? And the same thing with the moon and Neptune and all the different planets. So the point is, in the same way that the planets, like planet Earth, is made up of carbon, and of course, the elements thereof. In fact, let me read this for you quickly so you get a better comprehension of what the God is saying here. Follow this. All life on Earth is carbon-based, meaning living things are composed of complex molecules that contain the element carbon. Carbon is an excellent starting material to make many different complex molecules because it can form 4 different bonds. This allows for a wide variety of molecules to create living things. Although carbon can form bonds with many different elements, there are 6 main elements that make up living things. You comprehend, family? Carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, phosphorus, sulfur. Follow good. So that's what I'm showing you. It's just, that's why carbon and the 666, many people take that on a theological level to show you, well, it doesn't really mean fully what people consider it to mean. It's the building block of life, the number of the man, the number of the beastly self, not necessarily the number of the spirit, but a different subject as such, slightly. So, but what I'm showing you is that we are one with the earth. Earth, wind, water, and fire. You understand? When the moon is full, it affects the earth and it affects you. You understand? So this is just natural. This is something we all know. We all know that we're made up of the elements of planet Earth. We are Earth. We all know this. And we all realize that the different phases of the moon affects the human body, literally. We know that. That's why some people, please no disrespect, are referred to as lunatics. Because when the moon is full, something's happening. In some expressions, theatrical expressions, they talk about the man that turned into the werewolf when the moon is full. Because the moon naturally has an effect, just like the sun has an effect on everything. Believe me, Uranus, Neptune, Mars and Saturn and Jupiter, they have an effect. Yeah. On the movements of the whole system, the respiratory system, the circulatory system, and the human being, and the goody, and the thought, and the mind. And it's not just weird thinking. They're made up. The planet Venus, the planet Mars, Uranus, they all have their own different makeup and elements. But however they are made up, you can still find it right here on planet Earth. This is why it is said that we are stardust, because we are. But we are planet Earth first and foremost before we are any star. I don't care how much dust from Mars you are made up of, you are made up of planet Earth. Just reality. But because, again, of your makeup and the makeup of the planets, because of the makeup of the plants and the makeup of the planets, you have specific plants that literally align with specific planets. You have specific plants that literally align with the sun and the moon. This is just reality, and the same thing with human beings. But again, when you were born, when you were conceived, if you know that one, power to the people. When you were born, when you were conceived, has a lot to do, yes, with your character and your potential character and potential in general. So it's up to you. If you don't want to believe, I mean, hey, listen, come on, we can't be here forever. So Venus is directly linked to Taurus. And Venus is also linked to Libra. And a person may say, well, how you know what's linked to what? This is our ancient science. This is not Greek mythology here. This is not Romulus and Remus. I think, again, you see, this is why I will encourage you. I have to give respect to those who are on our ancient astronomy course. You see, sometimes when I stop the lesson to try to, like, I'm convincing someone, as if I'm speaking the truth. People who have invested in themselves and that are on our ancient astronomy course are saying, come on, priest, let's go. Don't worry with them. If they were on the course, they would know exactly what you're saying. No, just reality. So this is why we would encourage everyone. The ancient astronomy course, then you would comprehend, again, how it is that we can prove from ancient time that it is the ancient Africans who created this science, understanding that Venus is directly connected to Taurus, understanding that Venus is directly connected to Libra, understanding that Venus is a feminine symbol and also a symbol of war, yet still harmony, beauty, love, and connected to the kidneys, the thyroid, and the reproductive system. So please do not give Aristotle the credit. Mars, god of war, Mars is referred to as, and so is Aries by the Greeks and the Romans. And Mars is linked with Aries and with Scorpio, who looks like another war being too. But is it war? Well, we saw Mars representing power, desire, and ambition, and action. Yeah. maybe, no offense, man, maybe coming out of the cave. Maybe that's what you saw when you walked. Because you have to keep in mind that the Europeans came to ancient Africa where they received this knowledge. So although Mars in mythology is the god of war, and the planet is called Mars, yes, the planet was named from the mythological god, but the mythological god's concept came from the planet. Yeah, that's how they could identify the planet properly and understood the science. So Mars is directly linked to primal energy, the muscular system. You comprehend. And then I know this doesn't sound too religious. Sometimes we want to hear religious no, this is reality. Jupiter is directly linked to Sagittarius. Jupiter is linked to Pisces. And remember that constellations, sub-constellations have two planets that they're directly linked to. And Jupiter has to do with your liver and the spirit and longevity and joy and vitality. You understand? And also you have Saturn that is directly linked to Capricorn and Aquarius. And interesting, you have Uranus, which is directly linked to Aquarius as well. So if your sign is Aquarius, well, that means that you're still connected to the both ringed planets. The Saturn, which has to do with foundation and discipline. And Saturn has to do with the bones, again, to be sturdy, discipline. Without your bones, you're moving. Discipline, foundation, structure. That is the energy of Saturn. So that must be the energy of Aquarius. But Uranus now, which is not said to be linked directly with Capricorn, but Uranus now has to do with higher consciousness and innovation and electricity. Neptune is also linked with Pisces, like who? Like Jupiter. Jupiter is linked with Pisces as well. And Neptune, the further planets have a lot to do with the most mystic things. So Neptune deals with collective dream and psychic energy and is connected to the hypothalamus and the endocrine system. You comprehend, family. And of course, Pluto, the forgotten. Again, as I said, the further out you go, directly linked to Scorpio and the collective underworld, also visions as well, and primordial energy. Now, so when you comprehend, as I said, and then there are different plants and foods that are linked with specific planets, but I don't want to concentrate on that at all at the moment. I want to look into when you were born now. Now, you see, when we create our natal chart catalog for you, of course, you get a good understanding. Remember, the document we create is something that you literally have forever, something that you can show to your friend. Remember, this is not astrology. Our natal chart reading is not an astrological reading at all. First of all, you must understand that when it comes to astrology, and I think I'm saying this how many times now, 1,000,000 times, astrology is definitely several degrees off. So all of this, I'm a Capricorn, and I'm a Libra, and I'm a Sagittarius, and I'm the other thing. And I would tell you, if you are at least 12 days into that sign, more than likely you're not of that side. You're of the side previous side, prior to. if you, let's say 12 days, that's just a rough guess, 12, maybe 13 days into a specific sign. So whenever the sign of, let's say Taurus would begin, or whenever the sign of, well, let's say Taurus, let's stick to what we said, let's say Taurus, whenever the sign of Taurus begins, well, it begins. Now, I'm not asking you when it begins, but whenever they say it begins, you just count about 12 days. Well, for sure, 5 days after that, you're not in Taurus yet. Yeah? Come on. 10 days after that, you're not in Taurus yet. What do you mean? 12 days, maybe about that. What are you telling me? I'm telling you that the heavens is alive. And the sun moves 1 degree every how many years? Come on, someone can tell me. Let's see that. How many years? Every 72 years. Several 72 years would have gone since people have been, saying that the 21st of December is to the 20th of January is Capricorn. That's been going on for hundreds upon hundreds of years. So that means by now, the dates would have to have changed because the astronomical clock is alive and living. So first of all, that's the difference with ancient astronomy and astrology that the whole world is caught up with. And now the readings are a bit different as well. I listen to the astrologers, I study their technique and study their philosophy, and you know me. I mean, just think about this. This is the Honorable Priest Isaac, and many of you, when you hear this aspect of me, it's as if you're saying, boy, I don't understand this, and then this astrology stuff. Trust me, you know we do not deal with nothing that we cannot prove. You understand? And this is why I would encourage anyone that is serious to get our ancient astronomy course. In fact, remember, I mean, it's only how much is it? $199 for the ancient astronomy course. A course, a month plus course, several chapters. I would have showed you some of the chapters already, chapters on the stars, the black hole culture. The chapters are named for the topic within, the subject area. And of course, it shows you how to read your own sign up to date, up to time, up to speed, and you get your certification after such. And remember, if you're subscribing to the Tiger's Nest, I shouldn't even have to tell you, you get it for half of the price. So what we're going to do now, let us look at our natal chart reading as it relates to the heavens. And in fact, before we go there, let me do this and give you a better understanding of how to get your natal chart reading, and then we go straight into reading your birthday. So when were you born? When were you born? What is your birthday, as they call it? We say Earth Day or born day. When were you born? So we need to know the date. We need to know the date, which is the month, the day, the year, and the time. Then you're talking business. Check this out.
Do you want an accurate natal chart reading to know the true position of the sun, the moon, and each planet at the moment that you were being born? We at the Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge will create a precise natal chart for you and your loved ones, coupled with snapshot pictures of each planet, the sun, the moon, plus the constellations related to them. In addition to this, we will be giving you a detailed report of the alignment of planets to the constellations and its full meaning, not from an astrological perspective, but from an ancient astronomical perspective. You will have this report for the rest of your life and can share it with your friends and your family. To order your accurate natal chart today, visit our website, priestisaacinstitute.com, or email us priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com. Blessed.
All right, royal family. Now, this is what we're going to do. All right, let me just give you, blessed love, a quick idea, quick rundown of what you will get when you actually order your natal chart reading here. This is basically how it looks. I'm talking about your ancient astronomical natal chart document. And just giving you a basic idea of what you would get. So as you could see, this is a document itself that will give you the exact position of the sun, the moon, and planetary positions. So as you can see, the sun is Ra, and of course, we show you the constellation that it would have been in when you were born. We give you the exact coordinations, which is the right ascension and the declination. And then we give you a snapshot where you can literally see for yourselves with your own eyes where the sun would have been as it relates to the constellation of Leo at the time of your birth. Well, I mean, the time of your birth, the sun may not have been in the constellation of Leo, but the sun may have been somewhere else. All right, very, very good. Pardon me, I think I was not sharing the screen there, so forgive me. Yes, now I think let me make sure I'm sharing the correct screen. Okay, now I'm sharing the correct screen. All right, so I was just giving you an example once again of how the natal chart would look, the natal chart document that you would get from the Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge. Just giving you a quick a quick run through here so you could see each page will show you the planetary position, where the sun would be, where the moon would be. We give you the African definition of the planetary position or the sun or the moon or each planet. We show you which planet is which ancient African concept or which ancient African principle, what people call deity, neter, gods. We show you the exact location as it relates to the constellation. In this case, the constellation was a Leo, and we give the exact coordinations, which is the right ascension and the declination. And as you could see here, 11 hours, 9 minutes, 48.75 seconds, and that is the right ascension, while the declination is positive 5 degrees, 22 minutes, 45.6 seconds. All of that is astronomical talk. And then we just give you a snap photo so you can clearly see where the sun would have been at the exact time of your birth. So pardon me, I know that's the second time I'm explaining that, but the first time, I don't think I was sharing the screen. All right, so when were you born? Again, that's very important, and that is what we would need to know. Once you want your natal chart reading, your natal chart document itself that you can go through and show to your friends, you'd have to know, well, I think you do know, the date, the month, the year, but the exact time is very important. Now, if you do not know the exact time that you were born, I mean, all of that is good. We can still work with that, but the reading will not be as precise as it would be if we know the exact time. All right, very, very good. What we're going to get into here now, the heavens declare. Now, let's just say someone was born today, and they were born exactly. Now, what we're going to do, let us look at the time. Say they were born today, and we are going to just set the time. Today would have been, today is the 20th day of May, the 20th day of May 2024. And let's say 1:44. So someone was born today, 1:44, and that is 2024. Very good. So we just pause that time. So what we do now, we observe the heavens. One of the main things is the sun. The sun is really the body. It's called a planet really in astrological terms, but it's obviously we know, it's more even a star than a planet. But the sun is like the literal body that stands out even at this time or the time of birth. So basically interesting, the sun is there very much so with Venus and also with Uranus. And there we also see the sun in the constellation of Taurus. And of course, Taurus is the bull. Very interesting. Now, what is unique about Taurus? Taurus is one of those constellations that literally is very large going across the heavens, as well as the constellation Scorpio. But the thing is, Scorpio, because of its tilt, it holds perfectly in its 30-degree space. All right. So if an individual was born on this day, you have the sun in Taurus. So we just explained to the congregation the understanding of the heavens. We just explained the understanding of what the different constellations, what they mean in relation to the star, in relation to the planets that they are directly aligned with. So the sun, remember, the sun represents what? Resilience, manifestation. It also represents the ego. It also represents determination. Are you following me? All right, good. So everyone has the sun. Everyone may not be related to the constellation Taurus, but everyone is directly related to the sun. So the quality of the sun, which is manifestation. No, everyone has to have the quality of manifestation, even determination, even ego and resilience. And the sun directly deals with the heart. But now, what does Taurus represent? Now, Taurus is connected to Venus. And although you see Taurus as a charging bull, which it is, Taurus represents harmony. Taurus represents beauty. Taurus represents love. Listen to me good. Now, Taurus, just like Venus, is also on the defense. This is why in the Olmec main system, Venus was seen as a war planet. I think everyone knows that. In the Olmec Mayan Aztec Inca system, Venus was seen as a war planet. Yet still Venus is seen on a feminine level. That's why Venus is connected to plants like the hibiscus and the rose, which is still connected to Mars. Anything that has thorns is a Martian planet. Follow me good, it's deep. So now Venus, the energy of Venus is still that of Taurus. That's why Venus and Taurus is similar, because Taurus obviously is war. That is why Orion or Saru has its shield in front of Taurus, the Apis bull, because it is on the attack. So the sun now is in good companionship as it is in Taurus, because the sun also deals with love, just like Taurus. Self-love, but it's love. So this means now you utilize that energy of the sun, which we all have, man. That's why we all have the ability to conquer. That's why we all have the ability to evolve. That's why we all have the ability to progress, because we are sun beings. That's why when you're conceived during the day, it's a different energy than when you're conceived during the night. Don't mind when you're born. the conception is serious as well. So when you use that resilience now, your sun is in Taurus. You are literally aware of this. So when you are aware of this now, that resilience you have, that determination and drive of manifestation you have, when you utilize it in the right way, that will make you manifest Taurus, which is what? Harmony. Manifest Taurus, which is what? Beauty. Manifest Taurus, which is what? Love. You understand? And remember, Taurus obviously represented Apis, the bull, as well. Just like Venus and like Mars is on the defense and takes action. So action is very important for you. As I told you, you know, this is a slightly different reading than the astrological stuff. I can't go with what it is that they are trying to imply with their philosophy and their theology. So I know you comprehend where we are here now. Let us follow it good. So we're looking at the position of, where are we now? The sun. But now we look at the moon now. So we really go in line to see where everything was at the time. So we look at the moon now. And the moon is at the skirts of the constellation of Virgo. And this is another thing, eh? In ancient astronomy, the position of the planet or the heavenly body in the constellation is very important. So you cannot just tell me, well, it's a Virgo moon. And more than likely, people that talk like that, the moon is not even in Virgo. So it's just haywire, you know. But where in Virgo is the moon? Is the moon in Virgo's head? Or is the moon at Virgo's feet? Now again, your good brother doesn't really have the time to argue with anybody that is not coming to class. I would have, I mean, it would have been decades we would have been behind this, studying and understanding, even to read the constellations. And I do not want to sound disrespectful, but I myself would be an idiot to argue with anyone who can't even point out 10 stars for, you know, to someone who is literate, not just with the constellations, but the actual movements of the heavens. I'm saying that like Taurus on the Antigua stuff, that depending on where the moon is, depending on where the sun is, depending on where Mars and Venus is, if it's in the head of Virgo or if it's at the feet of Virgo, that alone has a serious significance to the person whose chart you're reading. This is why in Revelation chapter 12, it says that she was clothed with the sun, the same Virgo, and the moon was under her feet. It didn't say the moon was on top of her head. It said the moon was under her feet. So that means the moon was in Virgo, but it was at the feet of Virgo. Because remember, Revelation chapter 12 speaks about the woman that was in the heavens, who was laying in travail, ready to give birth to the man-child. You know her. She was clothed with the sun, and the moon was under her feet, and on her head was 12, a crown of 12 constellations called the zodiac belt. Yeah, you see? So obviously that's astronomy there expressed, ancient astronomy. That definitely couldn't be astrology. That's ancient astronomy. You read your Bible good, God burn hot fire and astrologers. One thing astrologers, soothsayers, and stargazers get a lot of fire, but the heavens declare the glory. And the firmament show it his handiwork. Yeah. Can thou bind the bands of Orion, or tell the sweet bands of Pleiades? I don't think I'm quoting it correctly, but it's in the Bible though. The book of Amos and Job speak about these constellations. Arcturus, the arc is Taurus, you know, so we can't be, you know, pretending as if we want to act as if we don't know that the heavens declare. So the moon is just coming out of the womb of Virgo. But on a, let's consider it a basic level. So again, the moon is feminine. And Virgo is feminine. The moon is Virgo. And one of the aspects of the femininity of the constellations too is that they deal a lot with intuition. So the moon, as I would have showed you earlier, directly deals with the gut. That's why when you have a feeling, your mind, you say, boy, I have a gut feeling, intuition again. So the gut feeling, and the moon, pardon me, also deals with the pineal gland. So the moon deals with emotions and moods as well, which goes into the emotional self, because you know you have an astral self, emotional self, mental self. So different planets deals with different aspects of the self. Then that's when you come into herbology now, and when you pick a plant and when you harvest a plant, well, same thing. And when you plant the seed or when you plant the slip, and when you utilize the plant and when you make medicine with the plant under which planet and all of these things, very, very important there. So now, Virgo, again, have that feminine aspect where Virgo deals with the mind and Virgo deals with communication. I mean, obviously, a woman would quicker tell a man, you know, I mean, you're not communicating properly. You know, we lack proper communication. You never have time, that kind of stuff. But again, the moon also, intuition, the gut feeling. So the moon being in Virgo is a strong feminine energy. And the moon being birthed, literally, out of the womb of Virgo is also, if the moon was in the brain of Virgo at the birth of this individual, male or female, it would say a lot. You understand? For example, myself, at my birth, the sun was kissing the forehead of Sagittarius. The next day, the sun was inside the head of Sagittarius. You know, so it's understanding its powerful vibration. So the moon being in the head of Virgo would have a lot to do with, again, intuition. The gut is still the brain. And as I said, the Virgo in general has to do with the mind, as well as the nervous system and the respiratory system as well. So this individual now, basically, you know, judging the character. Remember, you know, this is not just to tell you who you are. It also shows you your potential. I mean, again, we all are governed by these planets and to a strong degree, most of the same constellations, and everything that affects everyone affects the other person. And when the rain comes, it falls in everyone's house top. We all understand that. But some people are equipped better to catch the rain. Maybe by inheritance, you have a pond in your yard, and when the rain comes, you just naturally catch the pond or catch the rain. Someone else might have to dig a pond. You know, it's the same thing here, that no matter what's going on in the heavens, it just affects us all. And for you to try to sit down and figure out everything that's going on with every star and every planet and everything and every comet and every meteor shower and see how it affects you and every eclipse and every conjunction and every occultation and all of that. I mean, you don't really have to do that. If you want to do that, nothing wrong. That's a good hobby. You see what I'm saying? But everything will be affecting everyone. All you need to do is just live good. Natural. But there's certain key things that when they're taking place, like the eclipse that just took place the other day, there's certain key things that if you learn to tap into yourself and at least identify what's happening, you know, in the heavens and learn the value of these heavenly bodies that are interacting with each other, and then look into yourself, you will see for yourself that, hey, something's up here, you know. There's something about this that is really true. So again, someone that is born during the time of the moon in Virgo, they should rely on their intuition, their their first thought. I will tell you why. Because the moon is intuition. The moon is your gut feeling. And the moon is still in the constellation that deals with the mind. Now, hear me good. The moon is in the constellation that deals with communication. One of the constellations that deal with communication. That means if you're born like today, now this is 2024, I'm literally reading for somebody that was born today, like right a few hours ago today. So not because this is your birthday last year means this applies to you. The sun part applies to you, not the moon part. Because last year the moon would have been somewhere else. And Mars and Jupiter, you get it. So for the person that the moon was in Virgo when you were born, you see your gut feeling, the moon. You see your intuition, the moon. You see your first thought, the mind, the moon, Virgo. You must communicate it, Virgo. So now hold it in. You'll get sick. Tell someone, hey, I don't think we should go down there. The moon was in Virgo when you're born. Tell someone, listen, I think you're making a mistake. Yeah. The moon was in Virgo when you're born. Tell someone, hey, if we do that, believe me, I think we're going to get it. Trust me. I have a feeling. Say it. But if you don't say it, you're going to say, oh, I should have said something else. And that is how, again, you understand the connection. You see me? That is how you literally read the stars as it relates to your constellation. I'm showing you this, eh? And again, you yourself, you can partake of this with understanding if you, of course, so desire by getting your own natal chart reading. When were you born? When were you born? When we come again, we will deal with another date. But now, okay, for example, say the next constellation now, because it's not the next constellation, pardon me, the next planet, or basically the first planet now. But again, the sun and the moon, in astrology, they're referred to as planets, but it's the sun and the moon, a star and a satellite. Okay, good. So now Mercury is also with the sun back in the constellation of Taurus. So Mercury is usually close to the sun and Venus is usually close to the sun. You're not going to find these stars or planets too far from the sun. And that is because they are in front of the planet Earth. They're between Earth and the sun. Everything else is behind planet Earth. I'm sure you understand exactly what I'm saying. Very good. So Mercury, when we look at Mercury, as we were just speaking of Virgo, Mercury has a similar spirit as Virgo. Mercury represents the mind. Mercury directly deals with what? The nervous system and the respiratory system, and what else? Communication. Mercury is linked with Virgo and Gemini. Gemini is also a communication constellation. That's why you see Gemini is a man and a woman. Communication as well, relationship. Very good. So we see Mercury inside of Taurus. And what's interesting here is that Venus is inside of Taurus too. This is a serious thing. This is a killer here because oh man, yeah. Well, it got to be in a good way because there's still a it's with harmony. You know, it's chaos to bring out balance. That's for sure. If they want to go down the wrong road, it's them. But it's chaos to bring out balance. So before we get to Venus, let's deal with the Mercury. So again, Mercury is in Taurus, which is harmony. It's in Taurus, which is beauty. And Taurus also represents love. As I said, Mercury is the mind, thinking, intelligence. You understand? And still communication. Yeah, when you rule over by Mercury, you can speak well, eh? You can speak well, and you as they say, you can sell snow to Eskimos, whatever the case is. But now, so this is why when you understand the value of your planet, you utilize the skill, especially if you can pick it up within yourself, to bring out, follow me good, to bring out the characteristics that you're looking for that would be nudged in your sign or your constellation. So again, Mercury, your intelligence, your mind, your communication, and you tap into that, you'll bring out Taurus, which is harmony, beauty, and love. That's it. The same thing, Venus now, which is also in Taurus, is right there. Venus is also in Taurus. But now what's interesting here now is that Venus is Taurus. Venus is directly connected to Taurus. They both rule over the kidneys. They both have the same planets. They both deal with the reproductive system. So all of this is enhanced just naturally, you know. Kidney health and so is important still. You understand? There's an aspect of astrology, medical astrology, that just deals with what sickness you could have because of when you're born and all of that stuff. We don't concentrate on that. We concentrate on the healing power. You get what I'm saying? So your planet inside of the constellation of Venus, pardon me, inside of the constellation of Taurus is pure harmony, sheer beauty, sheer love. But you have to be defensive. You can't be no sour pop. You can't be no ice cream. You can't be no little, you know what I mean? You have to defend yourself. You have to stand up when you are threatened because you are Taurus, eh? And not only your Taurus, Venus is in Taurus. Man, if Mars was there too, I mean, this would be terrible. But Venus is in Taurus, and Venus is self-defense. Venus is action, and so is Taurus. In fact, Venus is Taurus. It's like Venus is riding Taurus. And with that mentality, with the right heart, of course, and utilizing the mind, because you already know you have Mercury there. It's harmony, beauty, love. That's how it goes. That's how you literally read the heavens, in fact. That's how you read the stars. By now, you can see the scientific method that I'm using to bring this out, and this is how we do it in the ancient times. All right, positive. And again, you yourself, you could get your own natal chart reading with clarity and understanding of exactly what is taking place in the heavens, even at the time of your birth. Now look at the constellation of Pisces. And within Pisces, we have the Mars, the planet. Okay, very, very, very good. So what does that mean? As we just said, Mars is representative of war, the god of war. But Mars is also really power and desire. Sometimes the terminology can lead us astray, you know? Again, this is not Greek or Roman, but Mars is really power and desire and action. In fact, it deals directly with the muscular system. And then you have the constellation of Pisces now. Interesting, because Pisces deals with some deep stuff. Pisces deals with psychic energy. Pisces deals with collective dream. And Pisces still deals with longevity and vitality, you know. So again, remember the planet is in the constellation. Everyone has a Mars, but everybody don't have a Pisces. I mean, everyone has a Mars because Mars is somewhere when you were born, you know, but Pisces But Pisces doesn't necessarily have to have had a constellation, sun or moon in it when you were born. That's just how it goes. But in this case, Mars is in Pisces. That's the point. So again, we look at that characteristic that you have in Mars. Let's say you are a person like that. You appear to be warlike or bullish, if you want to say, or maybe you seem to, have this power, because Mars is power, eh? And again, it has to do with desire, and it has to do with action, which obviously cannot be anything that's wrong. But the point is, how are you utilizing that? So when you utilize it for when you utilize that in connection with, pardon me, the energy of Pisces, which is psychic energy, the energy of Pisces, which is collective dreams. And at the same time, Pisces still has that ability to bring forth joy and longevity and vitality. So you as an individual that has Mars now in Pisces should be, again, one of them determined persons, one of those take no nonsense sort of individual, but don't go overboard, because you are also a person that can tap in deep to the psychic energy. You can tap in deep to those, if you want to say, primordial energy as well. That power also comes with Pluto, and that will also bring forth vitality, longevity, joy, according to the value of Pisces and according to the value of Mars. So you see, it's important to know these things, because you could be easily blocking yourself, because of maybe a certain trait that you have, and somebody's telling you, no, you shouldn't be like that. Or no, you should be more like this. And I mean, in certain cases that may be true, but for you, it may not be the case for you. Maybe you're made like that. But the thing is now, how do you utilize all of that fire that you have? Maybe you're made like that. But how do you utilize that rushing gush of water coming down the river that you possess? That may just flood the whole village. Well, we may need to divert the water to irrigate the land to plant the crop. But the point is, we don't need to try to stop the coming rushing water. No, you understand? And that's what we do, We tend to cool down the fire in our children, our young ones. You understand? Sometimes their talent is bursting through, and we spank them and say, hush your mouth. I don't want no singing in my house. You see? Yeah, the same singing may build you $1 million house sometime in the future, but you're beating it away, because we don't understand the fire. We want to throw water on the fire before we utilize the fire to cook some food, or utilize the fire for whatever else fire is utilized for, or to light the chalwa. Yes, it can burn down the place, but it can do a lot of good. Fire. The water can drown you, but it can do a lot of good. Water. So it's the same thing when it comes to understanding your characteristics and when you utilize it in the right way. So this is a very serious study, something that I definitely delight in. And again, I would encourage everyone to get a copy of their natal chart, without a doubt.
Do you want an accurate natal chart reading to know the true position of the sun, the moon, and each planet at the moment that you were being born? We at the Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge will create a precise natal chart for you and your loved ones, coupled with snapshot pictures of each planet, the sun, the moon, plus the constellations related to them. In addition to this, we will be giving you a detailed report of the alignment of planets to the constellations and its full meaning not from an astrological perspective, but from an ancient astronomical perspective. You will have this report for the rest of your life and can share it with your friends and your family. To order your accurate natal chart today, visit our website, priestisaacinstitute.com, or email us, priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com. Blessed.